welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, January 15th, 2024. Today we'll recap the NFL Super Wildcard games and look ahead to the two wildcard games being played today. And then we have college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, golf, tennis, news and notes, and, of course, best bet. We'll start the NFL as we should. Super wildcard weekend. A lot of crazy results and whatnot. So Saturday, Texans absolutely destroyed the Browns 45-14 as the Texans advanced to the divisional round for the first time since 2019. The calendar year 2020, but the 2019 season with Deshaun Watson. And then the Chiefs beat the Dolphins 26-7 in the freezing cold game as the Chiefs advanced to the division round again. And then Sunday, Packers destroyed the Cowboys 48-32. That game wasn't even that close. The Packers just absolutely dominated that game. And then the Lions beat the Rams 24-23. As my worst case scenario happened, I have Rams futures and I bet Lions -3. And then I throw Lions in a money line parlay. And that obviously did not work out. So we have two games today now. 4:30 on CBS, Steelers-Bills. This game was supposed to be 1 o'clock on CBS today, but the bad snowstorm in Buffalo had Governor Hochul announce that this game was going to be moved to this afternoon. Right decision by the league, because the Steelers obviously couldn't get there until today. But updated projections, Bills 5.5, total 40 9/10. And it's 10 38.5. So updated pick for this is going to be the Steelers plus the 10. Yes, Mason Rudolph is the quarterback. Yes, TJ Watt is out. But give me Mike Tomlin over Sean McDermott 24/7. Josh Allen will probably be the best player on the field in this game. But 10's a lot of points, and the Bills haven't had a kick-ass game since the Dolphins in Week 4. So I'm taking the Steelers plus the points. And by the way, they're plus 410 outright. So I do have an over 33.5, which I included in my regular picks, and I took the plus 10 as well. So the over's still good at 38.5. But updated, changed pick is the Steelers getting 10. And then, of course, tonight on ABC and ESPN, Eagles-Bucks. My projections, Buccaneers by 1, total 45 and 320. It's Eagles by 2.5, total 42.5. The Eagles have the minus next to their name because they are in the Super Bowl last year. Let's be honest. And they also have the minus by their name because nobody believes in the Bucs. Baker Mayfield is not healthy. And taking the 2.5 and the plus 130 for the Bucs to win outright is scary because Baker is not healthy. I have a 3.5-point edge on the Buccaneers. And I have a just under 3-point edge on the over. So for the pick, I'm going to take the Buccaneers getting the 2.5 and plus 130 to win outright. So there you have it for the remainder of the Super Wildcard round games. And we got the schedule for next weekend already. So Saturday the 20th, Houston at Baltimore, Kansas City, 4:30 ESPN, ABC. Primetime on Fox on Saturday, Green Bay at San Francisco. Detroit will host an NBC game at 3 o'clock, hosting the Philly-Tampa winner. And then AFC 6:30 on CBS. It's going to be Baltimore hosting Pittsburgh or Kansas City at Buffalo. So Houston is guaranteed to play on the Saturday. Baltimore's not guaranteed to play Sunday. Pittsburgh is guaranteed to play Sunday, and that makes sense because they can't have a short week. So Pittsburgh's guaranteed to play Sunday. If they beat Buffalo at Baltimore, Houston's guaranteed to play Saturday. And then KC, we don't know yet. And Detroit's guaranteed Sunday. San Francisco has Saturday. Green Bay has the short week, which is unfortunate. And then Philly was obviously, Philly-Tampa is guaranteed to play Sunday because they play tomorrow. And then the Conference Championship Sunday on January 28th. The AFC title game's at 3 o'clock, and the NFC title game is at 6:30 on CBS and Fox, respectively. Okay. Now I'm going to recap the college basketball from the weekend. And we'll just do notables from Saturday because of time. And we will look ahead to a busy window for the Martin Luther King holiday. Okay. So, Friday. Milwaukee over Cleveland State, 88-80. Indiana over Minnesota, 74-62. South Florida beats Rice, 81-73. Duquesne loses to Dayton, 72-62. Rider beats Manhattan, 71-58. Quinnipiac beats Marist, 66-55. Niagara beats Fairfield, 96-72. Canisius beats Siena, 67-63. Akron beats Buffalo, 76-59. Robert Morris beats Purdue Fort Wayne, 91-88 in OT. Stetson beats Queens, 84-66. North Florida beats Jacksonville, 82-74. Kennesaw beats Gulf Coast, 78-75. Nova beats DePaul, 94-69. Youngstown beats Wright State, 81-71. Iowa beats Nebraska, 94-76. Boise beats Nevada, 64-56. Saturday notables. Number 5, Tennessee over Georgia, 85-79. Number 7, North Carolina beats Syracuse, 103-67. Number 15, Wisconsin beats Northwestern, 71-63. NC State beats Louisville, 89-83. Seton Hall beats Butler, 78-72. VCU beats LaSalle, 71-65. Number 22, Creighton beats St. John's, 66-65. Controversial call in that game. Ole Miss beats Vandy, 69-56. Number 3, Kansas beats number 9, Oklahoma, 78-66. Texas A&M beats number 6, Kentucky, 97-92 in OT. New Mexico beats number 19, San Diego State, 88-70. Wake beats Virginia, 66-47. Indiana State beats Belmont, 94-64. Xavier beats Providence, 85-65. George Washington beats Davidson, 83-79 in OT. Rhode Island beats UMass, 89-77. Number 1, Purdue beats Penn State, 95-78. Florida State beats Notre Dame, 67-58. Fordham beats St. Bonaventure, 80-74. Number 20, Utah State beats UNLV, 87-86. Number 21, Clemson beats BC, 89-78. South Carolina beats Missouri, 71-69 in OT. Number 18, BYU beats UCF, 63-58. Texas Tech beats Kansas State, 60-59. SMU beats East Carolina, 75-64. Wyoming beats Fresno State, 68-67. Florida beats Arkansas, 90-68. Loyola Chicago beats St. Joe's, 78-75. South Alabama beats Marshall, 91-85. App State beats James Madison, 59-55. Number 11, Duke beats Georgia Tech, 84-79. Georgia State beats Georgia Southern, 90-62. TCU beats number 2, Houston, 68-67. Wazoo beats number 8, Arizona, 73-70. Number 16, Auburn beats LSU, 93-78. West Virginia upsets number 25, Texas, 76-73. North Texas beats Temple, 69-51. Richmond beats George Mason, 77-70. Stanford beats VMI, 134-96. Woof, that's a crazy final score. FIU beats UTEP 72-68. Sam Houston beats Middle Tennessee 60-51. Miami beats Virginia Tech 75-71. Missouri State beats Evansville 74-64. Drexel beats Elon 89-79. St. Mary's beats Santa Clara 73-49. Toledo beats Ball State 77-72. UNC Greensboro beats Chattanooga 70-54. Number 14 Baylor beats Cincinnati 62-59. Oregon beats Cal 80-73. Charlotte beats UTSA 66-58. Drake beats Southern Illinois 76-58. Iowa State beats Oklahoma State 66-42. Alabama beats Miss State 84-72 or 82-74. William Merriman beats Pacific 81-64. San Jose State beats Air Force 70-67. USC loses to Colorado 68-58. Pepperdine beats San Diego 83-77. San Fran beats Portland 96-69. Sunday, number 4 UConn beats Georgetown 80-67. Number 24 FAU beats UAB 86-73. Michigan State beats Rutgers 73-55. Number 13 Memphis beats Wichita State 112-86. Iona beats Mount St. Mary's 87-70. Green Bay beats Cleveland State 79-71. Maryland upsets number 10 Illinois 76-67. St. Peter's beats Manhattan 81-68. Marist beats Rider 83-60. Tulane beats Tulsa 94-87 in OT. Valpo beats Illinois State 59-50. La Tech beats Liberty 80-76. Northern Iowa beats Murray State 70-60. UNC Wilmington beats Delaware 79-74. Stanford beats UCLA, or Utah, 69-73. UCLA beats Washington 73-61. All right, today, 12 o'clock on Fox, Ohio State, Michigan. Mine's Ohio State 2.7, total 150.5. And it is 1.5 and 147.5 over. Siena Niagara, my line's Niagara 6.7, total 142 and 13/20, and it's 6.5 and 141.5, very close, slight over. Fairfield Canisius, my line is Canisius 1.6, total 147 and 11/20, and it is 2.5 and 146.5. These, oh my God. I never have big edges on these anymore. Slight over. 1 o'clock Stonehill Wagner. My line is Wagner 8.2 to the 135 and 2/5, and it is 7.5 and 131.5 over. CBS Sports Network 2 o'clock George Mason, George Washington. My line's George Washington by 6 to the 149 and a 10th. And it's Mason by 2.5, total 145. And I'll give you George Washington plus 2.5 and plus 118 outright. Wrong team's favored. Penn Cornell. My line is Cornell 6.5, total 154 and a 5th. And it's 8.5 and 159.5 under. Dartmouth Princeton. Mine's Princeton 14.5, total 136 and 9/20. And it is Princeton 18.5, total 134.5. I'm going to take Dartmouth to cover. Brown Harvard. My line is Harvard 7.5, total 143 and a 5th. And it's 2.5 and 139.5. I'm laying it with Harvard. That's low. 2:30 on Fox. Villanova at number 11 Marquette. My line's Marquette 2.3 to the 141 and 3/4, and it's 5.5 and 142.5. I'm going to take Villanova to cover. That's low. Miss Valley State and Texas Southern. My line is Southern by 11.7, total 133 and 3/5, and it's 16.5 and 125.5 over. Houston Christian and Northwestern State. My line's Northwestern State 1.1, total 150 and a quarter. And it's 3.5 and 153.5 under. 4 o'clock CBS Sports Network, LaSalle St. Joe's. My line's St. Joe's 5.6, total 147 and a 20th, and it is 11.5 and 148.5. I'll take LaSalle to cover. Merrimack Central Con. My line is Central Con 3.5, total 136 and 11/20, and it's 1.5 and 132.5 over. Big Ten Network 6 o'clock Iowa, Minnesota. Oh, wait, we skipped one. 4-3, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Prairie View. My line's Prairie View 1.5 to 156 and 3/20, and it is 5.5 and 156.5. I'm going to take Pine Bluff points. Now Iowa Mini. My line is Mini 3.7 total 154 and 13/20, and it's 1.5 and 158.5. Under. That's high. ESPN 7 o'clock. Or ESPN U. Notre Dame BC. Mine's BC 7.1 total 140 and 2/5, and it is 7.5 and 135.5. Over. Chicago State Stetson. My line Stetson 16 and 3/4 total 140.5, and it is 9.5 and 138.5. I'm gonna lay it with Stetson. American and Loyola Maryland on CBS Sports Network. My line's American 4.2 total 142.25, and it's 3.5 and 135.5. Over. Sacred Heart Lemoyne. Mine is Sacred Heart 2.2 total 144.25, and it's 1.5 and 144.5. Very close with slight lean Sacred Heart. Fairleigh Dickinson St. Fran, PA. My line is Dickinson 1.7 total 145 and 7/20, and it's 1.5 and 148.5 under. Columbia Yale. My line's Yale 6.5 total 146 and 7/10, and it is 12.5 and 145.5. I'm gonna take Columbia to cover. A&M Corpus Christi, Southeast Louisiana. My line's Southeast Louisiana 2.1 total 139, and it's 1.5 and 134.5. Over. Bama A&M and Bama State 7:30. My line's State 8.7 total 147 and 2/5, and it's 5.5 and 138.5. Oh, way over. New Orleans Nichols. My line's Nichols 2.6 total 150 and 4/5, and it's 5.5 and 150.5. I'll take New Orleans to cover. Southern Bethune. My line is Bethune as a 1 3/4 dog total 146 and 3/10, and it's 5.5 and 147.5. I'm gonna take Bethune in the points. 8 o'clock Grambling and Florida A&M. My line's Florida A&M 3.1 as a dog total 139 and 17/20, and it's 1.5 and 132.5. Over. Lamar McNeese. My line is McNeese 9.7 total 148.25, and it's 12.5 and 147.5. I will take Lamar in the points. Last but not least, 9 o'clock CBS Sports Network NC18 Hampton. My line's Hampton 2.5 total 150 and 11/20. It's 3.5 and 151.5. I am gonna do slight lean NC18. I thought Incarnate Word and A&M Commerce were playing each other today, but we are going to check to see if that game is still being played. That was bizarre that was not on the board. And it's not, so I guess that game is not happening. Oh well. We got the NBA from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to today's busy day. Friday, Sixers over the Kings 112-93, Pacers over the Hawks 126-108, Rockets over the Pistons 112-110, Heat over the Magic 99-96, Warriors over the Bulls 140-131, Clips over the Grizz 128-119, T-Wolves over the Blazers 116-93, Spurs over the Hornets 135-99, Jazz over the Raptors 145-113, Nuggets over the Pelicans 125-113, Saturday, Celtics over the Rockets 145-113, Wizards over the Hawks 127-99, Knicks over the Grizzlies 106-94, Bucks over the Warriors 129-118, Thunder over the Magic 112-100, Pelicans over the Mavs 118-108, Bulls over the Spurs 122-116, Jazz over the Lakers 132-125, and yesterday the Nuggets over the Pacers 117-109, Heat over the Hornets 104-87, Bucks over the Kings 143-142 in OT, T-Wolves over the Clippers 109-105, Suns over the Blazers 127-116. All right, big day in the NBA today. 1 o'clock on NBA TV. You have the Rockets at the Sixers. With Embiid, I have 9 and 227 and 3 fits. Without Embiid, I have it 1.5. Philly favored either way. All right, 7.5 and 228. So that line tells you that Embiid's playing. Slightly in Sixers. Don't feel strong about it. 230 Pels Mavs. With Luka, I have it Mavs by 1/4. Without Luka, 7.25 in favor of New Orleans. Total 231 and 17-20. It said it's New Orleans by 4. Total 235.5. That line tells you Luka's not playing. But I don't hate the Mavs in this spot. They upset the Knicks. If they can beat the Knicks without Luka, I think they can. I know they did lose to the Pelicans without Luka too, but I'm just taking a shot at them as a dog. +4 and +140. Or no, wait, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I read the wrong line. I'm an idiot, guys. Sorry. So instead I'll do the under. I'm sorry. I read the projection wrong. My fault, guys. I wasn't doing that. 3 o'clock Magic Knicks. With Brunson, I have 9.25. Without Brunson, 4.75. It's 7 and 222. That line tells you that it's like right in the middle of the two numbers. 2.25, 2.25. So that tells you that they don't know whether Brunson's playing or not. Total 22. Okay. Either way, I like the over in the game. Next up, Pistons Wizards. The Wizards 8.5. Total 237 and 7/20. And it's 5.5 and 240.5. Under. That's high. 3:30 TNT Spurs Hawks. My line's Hawks 12.5. Total 240 and a 20th, and it's 8 and 245.5. Under. 6 o'clock on TNT. Warriors Grizzlies. The return of Draymond Green. My line is Warriors 6.5. Total 227 and 3 fits, and it's 8 and 227. I'm going to. I forgot to include Ja's absence in there. And that would be 3 points off my number. So it'll be Warriors now 9.5. So 1.5 point edge on the Warriors. And I have less than that on the total, so I'm going to do slightly in Golden State. Bulls Cavs. My line is the Cavs 3.5, total 223 and 4 fits, and it is 4 and 220 over. 7:30 Heat Nets. My line is with Jimmy Butler. Heat by 3.25, total 219 and 3/10, and then without Jimmy Butler, I have Nets by 3/4. Right now it's Brooklyn 1.5, total 217. That line tells you no Jimmy Butler. But anyway, over. That line's going to move if Butler plays. Celtics Raptors. My line's Celtics 10.5, total 232 and 4 fits. And it's 7.5 and 241. Under, that's way too high. 9 o'clock Pacers Jazz. My line's Jazz 5.5, total 236 and 7/20, and it's 7 and 247.5. Under. And last but not least, NBA TV 10:30 Thunder Lakers. My line is the Thunder by 3/4, total 232 and 9/10, and it's Lakers 1.5, total 238. Just keep disrespecting the Thunder, everybody. Keep doing it. Lakers have a minus next to their name because of two guys that, granted, they stayed healthy this year. They've missed a handful of games, but let's face the facts. The Thunder are better than the Lakers. But anyway, I like the under. All right. Now we will recap the NHL games from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to a big slate for the holiday today. Friday, Preds over to Stars 6-3. Flyers over to Wild 4-3 on OT, so best bet lost. Saturday, Caps over the Rangers 3-2, Canucks over the Sabres 1-0, Sens over the Sharks 5-4, Devils over the Panthers 4-1, Avs over the Leafs 5-3, Oilers over the Habs 2-1 in OT, Red Wings over the Kings 5-3, Lightning over the Ducks 5-1, Canes over the Pens 3-2 OT, Kraken over the Jackets 7-4, Flyers over the Jets 2-0, Stars over the Blackhawks 3-1, Bruins over the Blues 4-3 in OT, Preds over the Isles 3-1, Coyotes over the Wild 6-0, and the Flames over the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1. Okay, Sunday, Rangers over the Capitals 2-1, and Wings over the Leafs 4-2. A nice window today, not as large as I thought it was going to be. It's 10 games. All right, at noon today, we have the Sharks and the Sabres. The Sabres are favored -260. The Sharks are +210. Over under 6.5. Overs -118. Unders -104. Sharks +1.5 is -111. Sabres -1.5 is -108. I don't trust the Sabres to win by multiple goals. I'm going to go Sharks puck line +1.5 -111. 1 o'clock, Devils Bruins. Bruins -182. Devils +150. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders -122. Devils +1.5 is -160. Bruins -1.5 is +132. Kind of like the Devils. I'm going to take them outright, +150. Ducks, Panthers. Panthers -385. Ducks 3-1. Over under 6.5. -1 each way. Ducks +1.5 is +128. Panthers -1.5 is -154. Over. Canucks, Jackets. Canucks -215. Jackets +176. Over under 6.5. Overs -140. Unders +114. Canucks -1.5 is +112. Blue Jackets +1.5 is -134. I'm going to go with the Canucks on the puck line. I don't like how Columbus has looked. Kraken, Penguins. Pens -146. Kraken +122. Over under 6.5. Overs +110. Unders -134. Kraken +1.5 is -100. Pens -1.5 is +164. I like the Kraken outright. +122 at Pittsburgh. Kings, Canes at 3. Canes -150, Kings +125, over under 6.5, overs +102, unders -124. Kings +1.5 is -196, Canes -1.5 is +162. For this one, I'm going to go with the Canes in regulation at +105. 5 o'clock, Isles Wild. Wild -114, Isles -105, over under 6.5, overs +106, unders -130. Isles +1.5 is -45, Wild -1.5 is +198. I'm going with the Islanders in a bounce back, -105. 6 o'clock, Preds Golden Knights. Vegas -132, Preds +110, over under 6.5, overs +116, unders -142. Preds +1.5 is -230. Vegas -1.5 is +188. Kind of like the Predators outright, +110. That's low for Vegas. 7 o'clock, Habs. Avs -235, Habs +190, over under 6.5, overs -4, unders -118. Avs -1.5 is +4, Habs +1.5 is -125. I like the over. And last but not least, 8 o'clock, Flyers Blues. Blues -120, Flyers even money, over under 6.5, overs +102, unders -124. Flyers +1.5 is -245, Blues -1.5 is +198. I'm taking the Flyers at even money. The disrespect for John Tortorella's team is crazy. They're in third in the Metro, not far behind the Rangers for first. So I am going to take the Flyers at even money to knock off the Blues. Now we'll recap the soccer from the weekend and look ahead to everything soccer for today. We will start Spanish Supercopa final. Real Madrid beats Barcelona 4-1. In that. And then La Liga over the weekend. Friday, Alaves over Sevilla 3-2. Saturday, Las Palmas over Villarreal 3-0. Mallorca Celta Vigo 1-1 draw. Athletic over Real Sociedad 2-1. And Betis over Granada 1-0. And then yesterday, Almeria Girona 0-0 draw. And Valencia over Cadiz 4-1. The EPL. Friday, Burnley Luton 1-1 draw. Saturday, Chelsea over Fulham 1-0. Man City over Newcastle 3-2. And then Sunday, Everton Aston Villa 0-0 draw. Man United Tottenham 2-2 draw. Bundesliga. Friday, Bayern over Hoffenheim 3-0. Saturday, Leverkusen over Augsburg 1-0. Cologne Heidenheim 1-1 draw. Mainz Wolfsburg 1-1 draw. Frankfurt over RB Leipzig 1-0. Freiburg, Union Berlin, 0-0 draw. Dortmund over Darmstadt, 3-0. And then yesterday, Bochum Bremen, 1-1 draw. And Gladbach over Stuttgart, 3-1. The ELC Friday, Norwich City over Hull, 2-1. Saturday, Fenrir over Leicester, 3-1. Birmingham Swansea, 2-2 draw. Leeds over Cardiff, 3-0. Huddersfield Plymouth, 1-1 draw. Preston over Bristol City, 2-0. Stoke over Rotherham, 1-0. Southampton over Sheffield Wednesday, 4-0. West Brom over Blackburn, 4-1. Borough over Millwall, 3-1. Ipswich over Sunderland, 2-1. And then Sunday, Watford over QPR, 2-1. Eredivisie. Friday, Heracles over RKC Waldrick, 2-1. Saturday, Sparta over Fortuna, 2-0. FC 20 over AC Alkmaar, 2-1. PC Zwolle over Heerenveen, that was a 2-2 draw. And PSV over Excelsior, 3-1. And then yesterday, Almere City over FC Volendam, 1-0. Ajax over Go Ahead Eagles, 3-2. Vitesse FC Utrecht, 0-0 draw. And Feyenoord and NEC, 2-2 draw. Feyenoord blew a 2-0 lead in that one. Serie A. Saturday, Genoa, Torino, 0-0 draw. Napoli over Salernitana, 2-1. Verona over Empoli, 2-1. Inter Milan over Monza, 5-1. And then yesterday, Lazio over Lecce, 1-0. Cagliari over Bologna, 2-1. Fiorentina, Udinese, 2-2 draw. Milan over AS Roma, 3-1. All right, today, 2:45, you have Atalanta and Frosinone. For this, we have let's see. Atalanta minus 290, Frosinone plus 650. The draw is plus 380. I'm going to do over 3.5 goals at plus 156. League One was busy yesterday, but Friday, Marseille Strasbourg 1-1 draw. Saturday, Reims over Monaco 3-1. Rennes over Nice 2-0. And then Sunday, Lille over Lorient 3-0. Brest over Montpellier 2-0. Toulouse over Metz 1-0. Clermont-Foot over Nantes 2-1. Le Havre AC over Lyon 3-1. And PSG over Lens 2-0. Africa Cup of Nations group stage from the weekend. So Saturday, Ivory Coast over Guinea-Bissau 2-0. Yesterday, Nigeria and Ecuador, Ghana 1-1 draw. Egypt and Mozambique 2-2 draw. And Cape Verde over Ghana 2-1. All right, 9 a.m. this morning, Senegal and Gambia. Senegal minus 400. Gambia is 12-1. The draw is plus 370. For this one, we're going to do over 2.5 goals at plus 116. 12 o'clock, you have Cameroon and Guinea. Cameroon plus 110, Guinea plus 270, draw plus 185. We're going to Cameroon plus 110. And 3 o'clock, Algeria and Angola. Algeria minus 200, Angola 6-1. The draw is plus 260. For this one, we are doing over 2.5 goals at plus 124. The Asian Cup. Friday, Qatar over Lebanon 3-0. Saturday, Australia over India 2-0. China over Tajikistan. That was a 0-0 draw. And Uzbekistan and Syria, 0-0 draw. And then yesterday, Japan over Vietnam 4-2. UAE over Hong Kong 3-1. And Iran over Palestine 4-1. All right, so 6:30 this morning is South Korea and Bahrain. South Korea should, and I emphasize should, win this game. And I'm trying to find this game, and here we go. South Korea is minus 800. Bahrain is 16-1. The draw is plus 550. We're going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 112. And we have at 9:30, I have Indonesia and Iraq. Iraq's minus 360. Indonesia's plus 850. The draw is plus 390. For this one, we are going under 2.5 goals at even money. And 12:30 have Malaysia and Jordan. Jordan's favored minus 135. Malaysia is plus 340. The draw is plus 230. We are going to go with the over 2.5 goals at plus 102. And Liga MX from the weekend. Friday, Querétaro Toluca 2-2 draw. Athletic San Luis for Mazatlan 1-0. Saturday, Pachuca over Cruz Azul 1-0. Guadalajara Santos 1-1 draw. Monterrey over Puebla 2-0. And America over Tijuana 2-0. And then yesterday, UNAM over Juarez 1-0. And Necaxa over Atlas 2-1. And that is a lot of soccer that we had to do. All right, now we'll move on to golf. We had a tournament over the weekend. And it was the Sony Open. We had a 3-way playoff. How about that? Your winner with the score of 17 under and a playoff score of 4 is Grayson Murray. Second, 17 under, playoff score of 4, Byung Ganon. And then playoff score of 5, 17 under, Keegan Bradley. Tied for 4th with 16 under, Ryan Henley and Yechun Yuan. 6th with 15 under, JT Potson. Tied for 7th with 14 under, Nate Taylor, Emiliano Grillo, and Matthew Pavon. Tied for 10th with 13 under, Adam Putnam, Harry English, and Taylor Pendrith. Tied for 13th with 12 under, Ashke Bahita, Taylor Montgomery, Tyrell Hatton, Patton Kazir, Eric Cole. Tied for 18th with 11 under, Brian Harmon, Chris Kirk, Brad Herschel, Stefan Yeager, Brandon Wu, and Ben Silverman. Tied for 24th with 10 under, Tim McCarthy, Patrick Rogers, Kurt Katayama, Troy Merritt, Stuart Sink, and Scott Stevens. Tied for 30th with 9 under, Hideki Matsuyama, Kyung Lee, Adam Swepson, Brendan Todd, Zach Blair, Ben Griffin, Teja Simakawa, Sungwoo Kim, Ludwig Gayberg, Keith Mitchell, Cam Davis, and Rio Hasatune. Tied for 42nd with 8 under, Charlie Hoffman, Alex Durant, Austin Eckroth, Saiwoo Kim, Will Gordon, Nate Hardy, Scott Stallings, Dylan Wu, Harry Hall, Michael Kim. Tied for 52nd with 7 under, Matt Wallace, Joseph Burnett, Evan Van Ryn, Ben Coles, and Robert McIntyre. Tied for 57th with 6 under, Aaron Ray, David Thompson, Matt McNeely, Justin Rose, Robbie Shelton, Mark Hubbard, Connor Phillips, Corey Connors, or Chandler Phillips. 65th with 5 under, Tyler Duncan. Tied for 66th with 4 under, Webb Simpson, Grayson Seek, Nicholas Echeverria, Luke List. Tied for 70th with 3 under, Alejandro Tosti and Jake Knapp. Tied for 72nd with 2 under, Joel Donovan and Lucas Griffin. Tied for 74th with 1 under, Seamus Power, Justin Lauer, Yuto Castergawa. Seamus Power, Matt Trainer, and Parker Cootie. 79th at even, Norman Young. Tied for 88th with 2 over, Grayson Ego and Matt Neesmith. Notables cut, Cam Champ, Chad Ramey, Carson Young, Ryan Palmer, Ryan Moore, Alex Smalley, Ben Martin, Taylor Hogue, C.T. Pond, Adam Hadwin, Heath Iglia, Lucas Glover, Kevin Stroman, Zach Johnson, Matt Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Vegas, Matthias Schmid, Doug Gim, Chester V, Justin Sue, Callum Tarrant, J.J. Spawn, Peter Malnati, Nate Lashley, Matt Kuchar, Dylan Lingberth, Andrew Novak, Tyson McCumber, Gary Woodland, Hayden Buckley, Camilo Vegas, Martin Laird, Vincent Whaley, Brent Snecker, Robert Streb, Will Zalatoris, Davis Lipsky, Kevin Kisner, Victor Norman, Robert Brem, Davis Riley, and withdrawing Tyson Alexander. Okay. Now we'll recap the start of the Australian Open. We're going to do this very rapid fire for sure. So we'll start with the men's. Saturday, first round. Chris O'Connell over Christian Guerin in 5 sets. Thomas Monach over Shintaro Wajuki in 3 sets. 5-seed Andre Rublev over Thiago Seyboth Wild in 5 sets. Fabian Maduron over Marin Cilic in 4 sets. 22-seed Francisco Cerundolo over Dane Sweeney in 5 sets. Pavel Kautov over Arthur Rinderknecht in 5 sets. 4-seed Jannik Sinner over Votik van Danschulp in 3 sets. Matteo Arnaldi over Adam Walton in 3 sets. Jaume Munar over Alexander Shevchenko in 3 sets. And then finals so far with the matches starting as the time I'm recording. 29-seed Sebastian Korda over Vit Kopriva in 5 sets. Hugo Gaston over Roberto Cabellas Baena in 4 sets. Emil Rasuvi over Patrick Kreisman in 4 sets. 17-seed Francis Tiafoe over Borna Koric in 4 sets. 1-seed Novak Djokovic over Dino Prismic in 4 sets. Quentin Haley's over Lloyd Harris in 4 sets. Daniel Galan over Jason Kubler in 5 sets. 12-seed Taylor Fritz over Facundo Diaz-Acosta in 5 sets. 26-seed Sebastian Baez over J.J. Wolf in 4 sets and a walkover. Jasper De Jong over Pedro Cachin in 4 sets. Going on right now. Denis Shapovalov and Jacob Medzik. 7-seed Stefanos Tsitsipas and Zazu Bergs. James Duckworth and Luca Van Esch. 20-seed Adrian Manarino and Stan Wawrinka. Alexei Popyrin and Mark Palmans. Constant Listine and 23-seed Alejandro David Fokina. Roberto Bautista Agut and Ben Shelton, your 16-seed. Terrence Amane and 3-seed Daniil Medvedev. Flavio Caboli and 18-seed Nicholas Jarry. 25-seed Lorenzo Musetti and Ben Bonzi. And then coming up, Alexander Vucic and Jordan Thompson. Andy Murray and 30-seed Thomas Martin Echeverry. Daniel Altmaier and 15-seed Karen Kaklavov. Maximilian Martyr and Nuno Borges. Yannick Hanfman and Gail Monfils. Alejandro Tabilo and Alexander Kovacic. And then canceled Matteo Berrettini, 7-seed Stefanos Tsitsipas and Roberto Cabellas Baena and Borna Gojo. And then tomorrow, well, overnight is, at the time of recording, Chris Eubanks and Taro Daniel, Zizhen Zhang and Federico Coria. 21 said Hugo Humbert and David Goffin. Alexandre Mueller and Hugo Grenner. Rinky Hishkata and 24-seed Jan Leonard Struff. Omar Jasika and Hubert Hurkacz, your 9-seed. Miomir Keknovic and Yusuke Watanuki. 10-seed Alex Demeter and Milos Raonic. 27-seed Felix Algaraz-Salame and Dominic Thiem. And then tonight, Dusan Lajovic and Guilo Zapiri at 7 o'clock. James McCabe and Alex Michelson. Arthur Fils and Jerry Vleesley. 19 Cam Norrie and Juan Varillas. Roman Safulin and 28 Talon Griekspoor. Laszlo Djere and Arthur Kazuk. Bernabe Zapata and 32-seed Jiri Lecheka. Albert Ramos Vinolas and 11-seed Casper Rudd. Marcos Giron and Jack Draper. 13-seed Grigor Dimitrov and Martin Fuskevitz. Max Purcell and Mate Valskos. Sunwoo Kwon and Lucas Klein. 8-seed Holger Rune and Yoshihito Nishioka. Mackenzie McDonald and Chicheng Shang. 14 seed Tommy Paul and Grigor Barre. 31 seed Alexander Bublik and Sumit Nagal. And Dan Evans and Lorenzo Sonego. And then first round overnight into Tuesday, tomorrow, Sebastian Offner and Thanasi Kakanakis. 6 seed Alexander Zverev and Dominic Kofer. And Richard Gasquet and Carlos Alcaraz. All right. Women's. First round results from Saturday. Diane Parry over 30 seed Xinyu Wang in 3 sets. 8 seed Maria Sakkari over Nao Hibino in 2. Brenda Fritova over Anna Bogdan in 3. Maria Timofeeva over Elias Cornet in 2. Alicia Parks over Daria Sneager in 3. Elena Avansayan over Zuchan Bay in 3. Tamara Korpsaj over Jodiana Barug in 3. 19 Barbara Krejcikova over Maya Hantama in 3. 32 seed Leila Annie Fernandez over Sarah Belgic in 2. 20 seed Luzia Sarenko over Lucia Bronzetti in 3. Kamila Rakimova over Amina Bektas in 2. And then at the time of recording yesterday final, Kaja Juvan over number 23 seed Anastasia Podpova in 2. 4 seed Coco Gauff over Anna Carolina Shvedlova in 2. Storm Hunter over Sarah Arani in 2. Diana Yastremka upset 17 Marketa Vondrousova in 2. 19 seed Elena Svitolina over Tyla Preston in 2. Victoria Tomova over Kayla Day in 2. Nadia Podoroska over Tamara Zinasek in 2. Lina Noskova over 31 seed Marie Vuskova in 2. Varvara Gracheva over Yanina Wickmeyer in 2. 2 seed Arena Sablenka over Ilya Seidel in 2. Caroline Wozniacki over Magda Linette in 2 and a walked over. Caroline Dolhide over Leola Wanjin in 2. Elena Korneva over Sarah Sabrias Tormo in 3. Amanda Anisimova upsets 13 seed Lumia Samsonova in 2. Going on right now as the time of recording, Rebecca Masarova, Alexandra Sasnovic, Fiona Farrow and McCartney Kessler, Tajana Maria and Camila Osolo, and 17 seed Ekaterina Alexandrova and Laura Siegman. And then about to get underway, Magdalena Fretch and Daria Savale, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova and Donna Venchik, 26 seed Jasmine Paolini and Diana Schneider, Marta Kasiuk and Claire Liu, Myra Sheriff and 25 seed Elise Mertens, Jacqueline Christian and Katerina Siniakova. Overnight at the time of recording, Yulia Putintseva and Anastasia Zankarova, Linda Firvidova and 10 seed Beatrice Haddad Maya, 24 seed Annalena Kaliana and Atrenksa Rus, Mira Andreeva and Bernarda Pera, Taylor Towson and Paula Badosa, Anna Kalinskaya and Katie Volinets, Victoria Goldbeck and 50 seed Veronica Kudermetova, 16 Onstra Bor and Yulia Stradovsiwa. And in the morning, at the time of recording, coming up, 16 seed Carolina Garcia and Naomi Osaka, Renata Zarzua and Martina Trevsion. Starts the evening for tonight. Peyton Stearns and 14 seed Daria Kasakina. Solana Stevens and Olivia Godicki. Elizabeth Cocorado and Lulu Sun. 1 seed Iga Swiatek and Sophia Kenin. Danielle Collins and Angelique Kerber. Greet Minnan and Clara Towson. 29 seed Linzhou and Oceani Doden. 27 seed Emma Navarro and Zia Wong. Camelia Georgian, 18 Victoria Azarenka. 11 seed Jelena Ostapenko and Kimberly Burrell. Katie Bolter and Yuian. Christina Buska and Anna Blinkova. Alexandra Krunik and Clara Burrell. Yafan Wong and 22 seed Serena Cirstea. And then overnight into Tuesday, into tomorrow, 12 seed Quinton Zhang and Ashlyn Kruger. Emma Rakondu and Shelby Rogers. 3 seed Alina Rybakina and Carolina Pliskova. Petra Martic and Alja Tomčević. Rebecca Marino and 5 seed Jessica Pizula. All right, so there you have it for the tennis, and we're going to move on to news and notes right now with a lot that have to be discussed. The biggest thing, obviously, with the Cowboys losing, and Bleacher Report's Jordan Schultz already reporting that rival execs believe that the Cowboys will go after Bill Belichick to replace Mike McCarthy. That doesn't surprise me. Mike McCarthy's probably going to be fired at the time this podcast is posted, as I correctly predicted with Arthur Smith last week. I feel like a lot of guys are fired at the time of the postings, and then after the Chargers lost badly to the Raiders several weeks back too. So we'll see. I think they're going to pursue Bill as well. The Falcons are eyeing Antonio Pierce as they requested permission to interview from the Raiders. The Commanders are eyeing Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. Antonio Pierce is exploring all of his options. So Michigan and Harbaugh are still talking about a new deal, although Harbaugh is supposed to meet with the Chargers. And the interest between Belichick and the Falcons is mutual. The leading candidate for the Raiders role is intern coach Antonio Pierce. And how about this? Pierce is a deal breaker for Max Crosby, who will explore a trade if Pierce isn't promoted. So keep an eye out on that. Dak Prescott says, I sucked tonight after his poor performance yesterday against the Packers. Jerry Jones was shown very frustrated. Des Bryant called out the Cowboys. Stafford got booed last night. Obviously, you knew that was coming. The Chiefs fans were caught lining up in negative 14-degree weather ahead of the game. Micah Parsons says he wasn't impressed with Martin Emerson Jr.'s effort on the 76-yard touchdown by the Texans. Well, you shouldn't have been talking, Micah. You were awful in the game yesterday. And I don't want to hear your name in defensive player of the year conversations no more. It's TJ Watt, and of course it's Myles Garrett. Oh wait, Myles Garrett gave up 45 points. So I guess defensive player of the year is TJ Watt. But it is a regular season award, to be fair. Dame Lillard had the game winner against the Kings, which was awesome. There's a court built in the Indianapolis airport as Indiana, the Pacers are going to be hosting the All-Star game. There was an NBA trade yesterday. Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Livers, and 2 second-rounders to Washington for Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. I hate the deal for the Pistons, and I like it for the Wiz. They get 2 second-rounders for guys that really shouldn't be playing there. They should be on contenders. Maybe the Pistons buy out those guys, but the Pistons, what are you doing, for crying out loud? Like, aren't Bagley and Livers guys you want to keep? Like, that team is just awful. Draymond Green's supposed to be back from his suspension against the Grizzlies tonight, so that's pretty cool. The Magic are exploring trades for Wendell Carter Jr. and Markelle Fultz. How about the Pacers? They are building trade packages ahead of the deadline, reluctant to include young players as they're shopping a first-round pick in Buddy Hield. This is laughable to me. The Mavericks are eyeing Pascal Siakam as they see him as a missing piece to contend for a championship. Are you freaking kidding me? Really? Come on. I mean, I understand Siakam was on a title team, but come on. Pascal Siakam, give me a break. They're not a title contender with Siakam. The Atlanta Hawks will not trade Trae Young and Jalen Johnson as they're the only untouchables on the roster. That doesn't surprise me. Excuse me. Gordon Hayward is available for trade, but also a buyout candidate if he's not moved. He might get bought out for what we know. An anonymous executive says there's no trade value for Andrew Wiggins. Yikes. D'Angelo Russell's contract is causing a pause as the player option for $18.7 million could be an issue for teams looking at trade. And then, how about this? The Bulls may need to add other assets to a trade package for a team to take on Zach LaVine, as the trade market for him is rough. The NBA is allowing LaMelo Ball's tattoo, as they will not find him for tattoo clothing brand below his ear. The Pistons players that were traded, Marvin Bagley and Isaiah Livers, they were on the practice court when they got dealt. More bad news for the Grizzlies. Desmond Bane out 6 weeks with a left ankle sprain after they lose Ja for the season. That's just brutal for the Grizzlies, and they are in absolute tank mode now. Jaime Jaquez strained his groin as he will not play in tonight's game against the Nets. So everybody was roasting the Cowboys, obviously. The Bills-Steelers game got moved to today at 4:30, obviously, and there's pictures of the Bills Stadium, and it's supposedly supposed to snow again tomorrow, which is insane. RG3 made a case on social media that Dolphins-Chiefs should have been postponed too because of that cold weather. Did anybody see the picture of Mahomes' helmet? Like, that was crazy. He was missing a huge chunk of his helmet after that hit. Jimmy Johnson rips the Cowboys during Fox's halftime show. Sam Laporta played last night against the Rams. A couple of injuries in that Texans game in their big win over the Browns. Noah Brown ruled out, shoulder. Baker expected to play tonight against the Eagles, ankle and ribs. He's obviously not healthy, but A.J. Brown will be out with a sprained knee. A couple of college stuff. Listen to NFL rated too. NFL insiders say that the Bears, they think that they will draft Caleb Williams or a quarterback at number 1. I think they'd be making a mistake to do that because we don't know if that quarterback will be better than Justin Fields right now. But people are pointing right at the Giants and saying, well, they made a mistake in paying Daniel Jones. Watch, if they pay Justin Fields, he's going to turn out to be like Daniel Jones. But one's better than the other. It's obvious. Come on. Michigan wide receiver Roman Wilson declares for the draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. was tweeting about Stroud, which was not surprising. So we know Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama. Jed Fish was pegged as DeBoer's replacement. Jed Fish obviously was the head coach at Arizona. I think that is a really nice hire for Washington. Jed Fish did a great job at Arizona, and now Arizona's job is open. Cam Ward initially declared for the draft, but now commits to Miami. Sark got a 4-year extension at Texas now with the school until 2030. J.J. McCarthy declared for the draft, which isn't surprising. Ryan Grubb, who was the Washington offensive coordinator under DeBoer, is expected to follow DeBoer to Bama. Another wide receiver decommits from Bama after Saban retired, Jamie French. And then Amari Niblock, the tight end, entered the portal too. And Isaiah Bond lands with Texas, so he goes to Stark. Will Rogers re-entered the portal as he got to Washington in December, but he re-entered the portal since DeBoer left. Jalen Brunson sat against the Grizzlies on Saturday night because of a calf injury. A lot of college basketball stuff. Rick Pitino says that he doesn't believe in moral victories, which he shouldn't. You're Rick Pitino. But the reason why he mentioned that is because there was a no call that went against St. John's with a buzzer beater attempt against Creighton. Tom Izzo's son got his first points, which was awesome. How about the Baylor Bears landing number 5 prospect of 2024, VJ Edgecombe? He gets to go to Baylor as he picks them over Duke. Benzema to be axed by the club as he's banished from Al Ittihad training camp after failing to attend club's events. Yikes. Mike Brown went viral as he pulled out his laptop during the presser to point out calls. That's really funny. The fan-voted All-Star revealed Mitch Marner and Cale Makar among those picked by the fan vote. We're gonna look at the other ones now. There's a couple of other ones that have been chosen as well. William Nylander, Elias Peterson, Leon Draisaitl. We have JT Miller, Morgan Riley, Brock Besser, Thatcher Demko, Sergei Bobrovsky, Alexander Georgiev, Jeremy Swain. So there you have it for the fan votes. One more college basketball stuff. Kentucky out on 5-star. Oh, that was VJ Edgecombe. He picked Baylor over Duke. The Jaguars are eyeing Wink Martindale, the former Giants DC. That would be a good hire for Jacksonville. He'd be certainly better than what they had. So the Yankees and the Rangers are front runners to sign Hector Neris, the reliever. Jorge Soler linked the 3 teams, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays willing to offer a multi-year deal. So there you have it for news and notes. last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. So, for best bet, I just can't take the Steelers for best bet only because Mason Rudolph on the road. So, for best bet, I'm going to go to hockey. There's a hockey pick I liked, and it's an over. In a game that is one of the worst teams in the league against one of the hottest teams in the league, the number 6.5, I think that the home team might do it by themselves. I like the over 6.5 in the Ducks-Panthers game. I'm going to lay a fifth of a unit on it. The best bet's gone off to a rocky start in the new year. Let's turn it around. Over 6.5, Ducks-Panthers, best bet. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We had everything tomorrow. Round 2 of the Australian Open coming up as well, and we have a portfolio pick to give out too. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.